Okay, so we are going to get into hip cars. This is going to be probably one of the more thorough videos because there's so many things that you can do to compensate out of the hip. So I'm going to have Andres go through his left side. And what we're going to do before we do anything else is we're going to try to make it so his right leg is locked and stiff and sturdy. So this is one of those things where we're not trying to focus on balance. So if you need to, you can use whatever you need to prop yourself up. Andres is just going to hold that pole to help create that balance for now. This is, again, in my opinion, doing this standing with a pole is not ideal. We're not trying to work on balance. So let me preface this one more time. If you're at home and you're doing this, get as stable as possible so we can drive as much tension through the working hip. Andres's right leg is going to fatigue 100% as we go through this because his glute is going to be contracted the entire time. So that is not our goal. That's just it's a byproduct that we get to have. But our goal is we're going to work that left side. The first thing, and the one part that everybody skips over, is when we bring that left leg across the body to lift it, we are trying to hug that left hip into the midline the entire way. So we're going to initiate that first motion by trying to adduct the hip or bring it across. And we're going to try to control that right hip so it's not shifting over. So as Andres does that, his inner thigh is tight, ready to go. And he's going to then try to get his foot as high as possible with his knee without shifting his weight to the other side. Here, we want a 90-degree angle because we're trying to maximize the amount of rotation. So if Andres were to try to straighten his leg, you will see that that becomes increasingly difficult. And what happens is his range of motion will decrease. At 90 degrees, we have the most rotational capacity. So that's intentional. I also want to show you that if you're very tight, you might pull your heel towards you. So you might try to pull your heel into your other leg. That's okay if that's what you have to do. The goal, though, is to get to 90. That is a compensation. You are now using your hamstring, and that is not the goal. So he is here. He is lifting. Once he's maxed out that midline drive and that elevation through that foot, he's going to slowly bring that knee all the way out to the side without letting that right side come with it. So again, he's planted and stiff. He is still in external. That's up to you. If you want to maintain external, I recommend you try. If you end up in neutral where your foot is right underneath your knee, that's okay too. Let's try to get that knee as high as humanly possible through that range. He is maxed out here. And now he's going to hold this position and try to internally rotate without compensation through the pelvis, which is quite difficult. Okay. And if this feels like it's pretty difficult to get into, we'll create a little bit of space for right now so that he can get a little bit more rotation. So we'll come out of that flexed state. And we're going to try to bring that foot and that knee to the side, hurtling it over an imaginary object. So here is an example of max tension on the outside of that hip. That knee and that foot are driving up toward me. And from there, he's going to continue trying to bring that as far back as it can go without compensating too much in the other hip. Once he's there, he sweeps that knee and that foot into the midline, and he maintains a neutral position. Okay? And I'm going to have Andre switch legs so that he doesn't get exhausted on that right side. So we'll go reverse on the other side. Okay? So the objective, and I want to show you this because that backside part is the part that everybody struggles with because they can't see themselves. So if Andres initiates the hip car backward, he's going to try to kick the heel straight back. He could even pull the heel to the glute a little bit to find the hamstring and glute. That is the objective. Immediately through here, I'm going to show you what most people do, and I really want to emphasize this. When he lifts that knee out to the side, he will most likely let the foot drop down. So this is what you'll see people do when they swing through. Then the foot is underneath. Andres was doing it too well. We want to take that knee back. That knee and that foot are going to come out toward me together as hard and as high as he can get them. And then he will swing that leg through in that hurdle position until he feels like he can no longer keep that foot up. Then he will bring it through in external and sweep it across the other way. Okay, so objectives here are we isolate the hip. We try to keep ourselves from shifting our weight too far into the other side. We slow this down. We maintain a 90-degree angle the entire time. And we try to scour out that hip as much as humanly possible. And again, this is not something that you should be driving through pain in. If it's sticky, if it's achy, this is an easier one for you to just drop your range of motion a little bit. So if you're high up here and you're really, really not feeling great, you can always drop it a little bit lower. Go into a range of motion that's accessible, but try to get the most out of the hip without compensating.